Hello, everyone, and welcome to another college football special. Well, maybe it's not so special. I'm kind of late this week. It's kind of coming down to the wire. There's not a lot of games left tonight. Tonight being Saturday, Halloween, wearing my Slipknot shirt for the occasion. But, yeah, I was at Aftershock this past weekend, so it kind of threw my schedule off on when I get everything done. So I do apologize. However, let's get in to a quick college football special going over last week's games, some big wins, some ugly results, etc. My top 10 and the 3 games I guys want you to watch tonight, starting at 4 p.m. Pacific time and going a bit later. So let's get right into it. The ugly results for this past week we'll see in the graphic here. Cal lost to UCLA 24-40. Rosen for UCLA, the freshman quarterback, 34 out of 47 for 399 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Yes, I'm leaving that in. Great game by UCLA, a good bounce back win for them, beating Cal, who's kind of been on the downturn these past couple of games. Hopefully we can see Cal rise up again a little bit, get some more ranked, or get some more representation in the top 25 and towards better bowl games here at the end of the year. They're 5-2. That shouldn't be too big of a problem. But with the result of this next game, we actually had Utah lose to USC 24-42. Utah had been looking like one of the strongest teams in the nation. But if there's one thing you don't do, is you do not play USC after they fire their coach for the first night, because USC seems to win their first game consistently with interim head coaches, at least lately. Cody Kessler was 21 of 28 for 264 yards and a touchdown. Very efficient night from him. And USC just turned on the floodgates right about in the second quarter and didn't stop. I think they had like a 21-point second quarter, which is really unusual for this particular USC team. Now, let's look at our next game. Now, this game was an impressive win by Clemson. They beat Miami 58-0. Clemson was up 42-0 at halftime on Miami. The U getting their asses beat. Holy cow. Miami ended up firing their coach after the game. So we'll have to see where Miami goes from this. I have them in my games to watch tonight, but we'll get there in just a moment. Big wins for this past week. Ole Miss beat Texas A&M 23-3. Treadwell had 5 receptions for 102 yards and a touchdown. Ole Miss needed that win. They were not playing well in the SEC. And beat a wrecked Texas A&M team who had just lost to Alabama the week before. And really, before that, was looking like one of the stronger SEC teams in the league. So watch out for Ole Miss going forward. They seem to have made a turn. Cam Dichie, I believe, is their lineman. He's been playing pretty well. He did have a possible concussion issue playing on offense in this game. But keep an eye on him. Ole Miss is starting to roll once again. NFL talent on a decent team with a decent coach gets you a lot of places in the SEC. Also, probably the most surprising game, Florida State is no longer undefeated. They lose to Georgia Tech 22-16. And one of the most shocking ways possible is possibly the most entertaining game-winning play since Michigan State. And before that, I would say Auburn, Alabama, when Auburn returned the missed field goal for a touchdown. Georgia Tech, in this case, blocked a field goal and returned it for the game-winning touchdown. This is a big win for Georgia Tech's program. This will keep Johnson's, I believe it's Johnson, his job intact at Georgia Tech, and will hopefully push them to a bowl game with a couple more wins here out of the ACC. Now let's look at another big win. This is a school that doesn't win Pac-12 games very often, but it happened. And this is possibly the strongest team they've had in years. Colorado beats Oregon State 17-13. Colorado is now 4-4. They only need 2 more wins, which, with the way the Pac-12 has been this year, isn't out of the picture. They only need 2 more wins to be bowl eligible. They could go 6-6 this year. Watch out for Colorado. They are hungry to actually get into a bowl game. It has been a long time. So let's get into my top 10 here. We have Ohio State at 1. We have Baylor at 2. LSU at 3. Michigan State at 4. TCU at 5. Clemson at 6. Stanford at 7. Alabama at 8. Utah, for me, at 9. That one loss is going to knock him down too hard because I actually do think USC has a pretty strong squad. And Utah has enough games to bounce back. And I have Iowa at 10, still undefeated. Watch for their game this weekend. But anyway, now we got on my top 10 here. Let's look at games to watch. I have 3 games for you guys. So, at 4 p.m. Pacific time, Duke plays Miami. At 5 p.m. Pacific time, Notre Dame plays Temple. Obviously, this game's been advertised a bit, but watch for Temple to give Notre Dame a difficult game. Either that or Notre Dame is going to blow them out. I don't really see it going either. I don't see it going the other way with Temple blowing out Notre Dame. Also, at 7:30 Pacific time, the game that Game Day should have gone to just in honor of Washington State. Stanford plays Washington State. Washington State has bounced back from their loss to Portland State. Luckily, Portland State has been playing out of their minds and only has 1 loss on the season and have defeated two Division I foes in North Texas and Washington State. So look at that. And I believe they're, last I checked, were beating Montana as the time I was recording this. But watch out for this game. Granted, I do think Stanford's going to end up running all over them, but it should be a fun game to watch either way. Anyway, you have been watching the College Football Not So Special. Yeah, that's what I called it. Go ahead, give me a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you're interested in more of this stuff. I also have had my NBA previews up, and I've been covering the MLS extensively. Also, you can follow me on Twitter where I talk about all sorts of sports subjects going forward. At The Analyst 32 is Twitter. The Analyst 32 is my channel name for YouTube. So give it a follow, and we shall see you in the coming videos. Thanks for watching.